Definitely feels a little different outside today. Lower humidity, a mix of sun and clouds. The temperature down partially due to the cloud cover being around through at least the first half of the day. Notice that cloud cover here in the time lapse from earlier on. And we'll zoom the image out here for you in a second. There you go. There's some sun. You see the sun reflecting off the ground at times and the trees, but there's definitely been more cloudiness, at least here through the first half of the day. First 2/3 of the day, more than sun. But by later on this afternoon, much more in the way of sunshine. Temperatures warm through the 70s into the upper 70s. I think by the late part of the day, more sun headed our way. That will help to kick the temp up a little bit. It'll be another refreshing night tonight as we fall down into the low 60s. Even as you move away from the core of the metro and the outer suburbs, it'll probably drop back into the 50s. Cool and comfortable again today. Looks that way tomorrow, too. As we look to the end of the week, and especially into the weekend, we'll begin to transition the pattern just a little bit to a little more hot and humid. But we won't be underneath that high-pressure ridge, that dome of heat we had for so long. The upper-level pattern has changed. First, we were on the southwest side of the ridge. That brought in the persistent storms on and off and all of the heat and humidity. Then we were underneath the ridge, limited storms, but still the heat and humidity. Now the ridge is suppressed southward. We have more of a westerly flow. That brings in these weak systems for rain at times, but it does allow us to see more of a temperature fluctuation. So the lows this morning, 61 in the metro, but once you're outside of the metro, that's cool July weather actually. Felt great. Lots of 50s and some 40s even here into northern Minnesota. Mostly clear sky. When you look at the averages, 40. Doesn't happen too long. If we were to fall in the 40s in the metro, it would actually be a record. Our average is 66. That's why I don't think we'll be too far from 60 degrees with the clearing sky tonight. There could be again some 50s. And tomorrow, well, into the upper 70s to low 80s and then eventually mid 80s. That's about average for us. One thing again that has really changed around is the humidity level. The dew point Monday was in the 70s. Then it dropped yesterday, and now it is in the 40s. That's even lower than I was thinking. That's very dry air for July and why it feels so nice outside. We will see dew points in the 50s for tomorrow and a good chunk of Friday, then creeping up to around 60, 62 by Friday evening, mid to upper 60s by Saturday evening, and then pumping up to around 70 as we look on into Sunday. So definitely a muggier trend by the time we get towards the weekend. But what changes again is we're not stuck in that heat dome. It actually drops back down humidity-wise behind a front. Maybe the temperature not as much, but definitely the humidity into next week. Northerly wind flow too. That's helped to bring in the drier air and the cooler air. This is the wind speeds from earlier on, but they're about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And it's nice, even though we have the northerly flow, it's lighter. And the wildfires, a little better containment in spots up north so we don't have the smoke as widespread. First time we've been able to show you a map here across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the upper peninsula of Michigan without smoke issues. And most areas should be in the good to moderate category as we look through the day today. Smoke forecast the next few days on the model. We're quiet through tomorrow, and we should stay that way at least on into Friday. Then maybe some upper level smoke from western fires tries to move in. So there's the cloud cover here on the satellite. Weak system to our west passing south will generally be in this air tomorrow. So little change for us from day to day with this ridge of high pressure around. We won't see our weather patterns shift really too much. It will take something more substantial to do so, and it doesn't look like that's likely at least through the next 7 to 10 days. So microcast shows you that drying northerly wind flow today, more sunshine than clouds and an area of high pressure rippling through as we look on into tomorrow. That will turn our wind around to the south. Central southern Minnesota, a mixture of sunshine and clouds due to this system out to the west, even though the morning will start pretty sunny. The southerly winds won't bring up the warmth and humidity yet. That'll take an extra day to do so. As we look on into Friday, weak energy up along the Canadian border may bring some needed showers there. So the northern third of the state, a chance for rain on Friday. Notice the southerly wind is back. That will bring back up heat and humidity as we look into the weekend. But overall drier, it looks like, here for the Twin Cities. So for us today, a mixture of sunshine and clouds, cool, comfortable. Temperatures in the upper 60s and that drainage northerly wind flow keeping the humidity levels in check. Statewide, it's mainly going to be 70s, even only low and mid 70s in spots in Wisconsin because of that cloud cover being so thick. More sun in western Minnesota, around 80 degrees or so. It clears out tonight. What a comfortable night, around 60 or so for the metro with that light southerly wind. But away from the Twin Cities, the temperature drops back into the 50s. Definitely a cooler feeling night. And tomorrow, hazy sunshine, but the dew point still dipping down. We will top to around 84 degrees. The wind should stay southerly there. It will be out of the south at 5 to 10. You notice in western Minnesota, it does pop up into the mid 80s. And most spots do make it into the 80s. And as you look through the 7-day forecast, heating back to the 90s this weekend, and that's when more humidity will be returning as well, but it's generally dry.